Nitwa Nyamihanda Specials.
Specials is the wife to Johan. She says she was born like this, with her feet having this condition. She says this condition has contributed to a lot of opportunities missed. Starting from her early days, she was not lucky enough to go to school. Her life has been all about struggles and suffering that made it more difficult for her to survive. Growing up, she had in mind that one day she would become a teacher. But having born in a poor family, plus having this feet abnormality, all contributed to stopping her dreams to come true. She believes life would have been better if she ever went to school. Well, as a person with such a condition, walking in public has always been a problem to her, because whenever she goes to the street, people overcrowd and start making a lot of comments about her feet, and most comments are always negative. This is why she says there is when she spent 2 years, 3 months and 4 days locking herself inside the house. And by when it was time for her to get married, she worried. She thought of the feet deformity and thought she might not get someone to truly love her. She says not many boys would come to her, and most of them feared because of the feet. As she started losing hope, she met Johan, and the man also had the leg deformity. She says the disability brought them together and they found out to be a perfect match. But the idea of getting married, yet they were all disabled, was not welcomed and supported by relatives, friends and families, where they told this mama of 4 that she's making a mistake that she will regret for the remaining of her life on this oval planet. She was told it's crazy to accept to live with someone who does not walk on his feet. They would say, how will he provide? But she never cared. All she was looking for was someone who would accept to live with her for the rest of her life, as simple as that. She says that if she was to think of getting married to someone who is not disabled, that maybe she would have ended up not getting married for the rest of her life.
Ukuntu byaje kujyamo nuko nararebye mbona ari ikimuga kwari koko kavuga nta wundi mugabo wanyemera muzima ko ndavuga nereka nshakane nawe bizaba ko niba tuzashobora urugo tuzarushobora ntutarushobora ubwo nuko Imana nayo izabireba uko yadupangiye.
She says other people who are normal that dated her were very old, and they had other wives, and instead of going to be someone's second or third wife, she opted to find this man, Johan, and love him as much as she can. She says she had no idea of what the man she was marrying was. She was surprised how humble the man is. So far, they have spent more than 20 years together, and says she's happy for the man she married. Before they got married, she always tried to imagine how life would look like. Disabled partners living together. She had fears that maybe this will affect her children, but their children were lucky enough that none of them is even disabled. Speciosa says that being disabled does not stop them from being great parents. They try and cover most of their children's basic needs, and this mother earns money by cultivating for different people who pays a minimum wage. But to her, that's okay as long as she has no other skills that would be making her earn more money. Due to feet abnormality, she says during her day-to-day cultivation activities, she cannot do it for more than 3 consecutive days, but has to take a break. If she resists and keeps cultivating, legs become more painful, and she has to spend other 3 days only sleeping. And this has decreased the number of people who gives her what to do on a daily basis. She says one of things she cannot forget is the day she got married. It was a headline in the hood. Everyone wanted to attend a wedding of disabled people, but everyone who attended the wedding put there a question mark, asking themselves whether they will still manage home responsibilities.
benshi cyane baraje bagiye bavuga ngo yarongoye ikimuga ngo kandi nawe ari ikimuga bose bihutira kuza kundeba ukomeza.
Though they are disabled, they say they all cannot underestimate the value of education. That's why they tried everything and put their children in schools. But having not enough money, children only studied the primary level and then had to stop, since parents could not afford secondary school's school fees. She says if they had enough money, they would have paid for children to have higher education.
Ubwo njya gushaka uriya mugore namushatse nyine abandi bose banyanze ko ndi masikini kuko ntacyo nabamarira.
Yohani says his life is somewhat similar to the wife's life because of being born with this body deformity. He says after growing up, he needed a wife, but this deformity became a big barrier where everyone rejected him, and finally he met Speciosa. The man says for Speciosa to accept his proposal, it was only God who made it possible.
Imana yongera nyobora ati musubirayo nsubirayo. Nibwo namubazaga neza umugore atari ko rero sinakwemerera.
Because at first she had rejected him, but God insisted, and this time it worked out, and the woman agreed to be the man's wife. They lived together from that time up to now. They produced 5 children, but one of them died young. Unlike Speciosa, Yohani got married at first when he had 20 years of age, but the wife later left him after only 3 years. He got a second wife who also left the man for the same reason, being disabled. They would say he will not manage to provide for his children since he does not work, and it's hard for him to survive. But later, God sent him to this wife, and this one is really the one he needed. He says he never felt happy like when he met Speciosa, and life from there was always better as they love and support each other. Despite being this disabled, they say they are thankful for the gift of life and thankful that God gave them normal children. They always want to give their children everything, but says poverty is the greatest enemy. They believe education is the key to success, and therefore request whoever is watching them to support their children so that they can go back to school. Support these parents in raising their children's school fees by contributing via a GoFundMe campaign's link found in description and pinned in top comments. The world has had enough beautiful mountains and widows, spectacular skies and serene lakes. It has enough lush forests, flowered fields and sandy beaches. It has plenty of stars and the promise of a new sunrise and sunset every day. What the world needs more of its people is to appreciate and enjoy it. Thank you for watching. I'm Elijah and this is Afrimax English. Remember to subscribe.